Perfect red heart, here's a full 2,000-word TTS-ready narrator-style script for your title. Clapperboard, the private call that broke Kim Go-eun. Lee Min-ho finally speaks out. The entertainment world never sleeps. Every smile, every glance, every carefully crafted social media post is under scrutiny. But some moments that are never meant to be public, carry the weight to change everything. One such moment involved two of Korea's most beloved stars, Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun. Their relationship, whispered about for years, adored by fans, yet veiled in secrecy, suddenly became the talk of the nation. Not because of what they did publicly, but because of one private phone call. It was a night much like any other. The lights of Seoul glimmered against the dark sky. Fans were busy dissecting social media posts. Reporters were chasing rumors. And in the quiet of her apartment, Kim Go-eun's phone rang. It was him, Lee Min-ho. The call had been unexpected. She hadn't heard from him in weeks. Not a message, not a photo, not even a greeting. And yet, there it was. His name flashing on her screen. For Kim Go-eun, this call was more than just a reconnection. It was a flood of memories, both sweet and painful. The laughter on set, the quiet moments backstage, the endless nights of chatting about dreams and fears, they all came rushing back in a single heartbeat. She hesitated. Her thumb hovered over the answer button. Would she pick up? Could she bear to hear his voice again after everything that had happened? And then the inevitable happened. She answered. The first words were simple. "Hi," he said. But the way he said it carried years of unspoken emotion. Kim Go-eun's voice was barely above a whisper. "Hi." For a moment, silence stretched between them. Not the awkward silence of strangers, but the charged silence of two people who had once shared everything. Lee Min-ho finally spoke. "I'm sorry," he said. 2 words. Simple. Yet, in that moment, they felt like a confession, a plea, and a heartbreak all at once. Kim Go-eun's chest tightened. She had waited for years, through misunderstandings, through rumors, through the weight of the public eye. And now, hearing him say those 2 words, she felt a pain so deep it was almost physical. "Why now?" she asked softly. Her voice trembled, betraying the calm she tried to maintain. "Because I needed you to know," he replied. "I couldn't stay silent anymore. I've made mistakes. I've let things go unsaid. And it's haunted me every day." Kim Go-eun's fingers gripped the phone tighter. Every word was like a knife and a bomb at the same time. Part of her wanted to hang up, to shield herself from further pain. Another part wanted to hear everything, to finally understand. Lee Min-ho continued. "I know I hurt you. I know I let you down. And I know saying sorry isn't enough. But you deserve the truth, and you deserve to hear it from me." The truth. A word heavy with consequence. It wasn't just about the relationship they had. It was about the years of public scrutiny, the pressure from fans, and the expectations that had always hung over them. This call, private and unseen, was his attempt to set the record straight. Kim Go-eun swallowed hard, tears threatening to fall. I needed you to call," she admitted quietly. "I needed to hear your voice. Even if it hurts." For the next few minutes they talked. Not about public appearances. Not about the rumors or the paparazzi. They talked about what had mattered most, what they had felt, what they had lost, and what they still carried in their hearts. And then came the hardest part. Lee Min-ho's voice cracked slightly as he said, "I don't expect anything from you. I needed you to know how much you meant to me and still mean to me. Even if we can never go back, I had to say it." Kim Go-eun closed her eyes. Her heart ached in ways words could not describe. Because hearing him speak, hearing him finally acknowledge the pain, the love, the regrets, it was both a relief and a devastation. "I understand," she whispered. "I understand everything now. And thank you for saying it." The call ended quietly. No dramatic goodbyes. No promises of reconciliation. Just a shared understanding that sometimes, love isn't about possession or timing. It's about honesty, even if it arrives too late. But the world would never know this moment. Fans noticed subtle changes afterward. Kim Go-eun's social media posts became more introspective, almost melancholic. Lee Min-ho's updates were quieter, more reflective. Every comment, every glance, every subtle shift became fodder for speculation. Was it reconciliation? Was it closure? Or was it simply a private acknowledgement that two hearts, once entwined, could never truly forget each other? Speculation exploded online. "You can see it in her eyes," one fan wrote. "Something happened between them," another insisted. Videos were analyzed, interviews scrutinized. But the truth remained theirs alone. Inside sources later confirmed. Lee Min-ho had indeed called her privately. It was not orchestrated for the media. It was not staged. It was raw, real, and devastatingly emotional. Kim Go-eun carried the weight of that call with her for weeks. Every interview, every award, every fan interaction. The memory lingered. The honesty in his voice, the remorse, the love. It changed how she viewed the past and the present. Lee Min-ho, on his part, returned to work with a quiet resolve. Fans noticed he smiled less at public events, spoke less about personal matters, but there was a depth in his gaze, a reflection of that private, unspoken connection. Months later, a fan spotted her at a quiet cafe, holding a note in her hands, smiling faintly to herself. It wasn't published online. No cameras caught it. But those who knew the story understood. The note symbolized the private call, the acknowledgement, and the bittersweet closure. In an interview shortly after, Lee Min-ho broke his silence publicly for the first time. "Sometimes words are all we have left," he said softly. "And sometimes the right words come too late. But they're worth saying anyway." The public may have interpreted it as a vague reference. But those who followed closely knew exactly who he meant. The private call that broke Kim Go-eun had also healed her in a way. Not by rekindling what they had lost, but by offering understanding, honesty, and closure. Fans continued to speculate endlessly. Was this a prelude to reconciliation? A final goodbye? Or merely a shared moment of honesty between two people who had once loved deeply? No one knows. And perhaps that is the point. Because some moments, no matter how public the people involved, are meant to remain private. And the truth, even when revealed partially, carries a weight no social media post could ever replicate. Lee Min-ho's private call may have broken her heart. But in the same instant, it gave her clarity, peace, and the knowledge that their story, however complicated, was real. And sometimes that is more important than any headline, any fan theory, any viral speculation. Love doesn't always arrive in the way we